Let's compare the fractions 1/5 and 1/8. Now, it's important to remember when you're comparing fractions, you're always talking about one whole that's been split up. For example, one whole chocolate bar. And here's our chocolate bar. It's the same size on the left and the right. Now let's look at those fractions. We have the numerator and we have the denominator. The numerator tells us how many pieces we're going to get of that chocolate bar. So you can see that they are the same. Either way, you are going to get one piece of the chocolate bar. So you're getting one piece. How can one be bigger than the other? Well, let's take a look at the denominator for that. The denominator tells us how many pieces that fraction or that chocolate bar is going to be split into to begin with. So imagine you have a chocolate bar. Would you rather share it with 5 of your friends or 80 of your friends? If you have to cut it into 5 pieces, it's going to look something like this. And each of those pieces are pretty big because you're only sharing it with 5 people. If you have to cut it into 8 pieces, it's going to look something like this. If you have to share it with more people, it started out the same size, and now you had to cut it into smaller pieces. So the denominator here helps you see that the more people you share with, the smaller those pieces are going to be. So now let's go ahead and fill in our numerator, which tells us, one piece and one piece. So on the left here, you've got 1/5. That's what that looks like. On the right here, you have 1/8. 1/5 is bigger than 1/8 because even though you're still getting one piece either way, this piece is bigger because you started with the same chocolate bar, but cutting it into 5 gives you a pretty big piece, whereas cutting it into 8, you have to share with more people, so your pieces are going to be smaller. Let's put in our greater than or less than symbol. I like to think of it as an alligator or a Pac-Man. So greater than, less than, and I draw little teeth like it's an alligator, and that alligator is going to eat the bigger fraction. So when you put it in the circle, you're going to draw it with its mouth opening towards 1/5, which is our bigger fraction. So I want you to take a look at this for future reference. If 2 of the numbers are the same, like the numerators are the same, you can just look at the denominators. And let me ask you something. Do you want a big denominator or a small denominator? Which one's better if you want more chocolate? The smaller denominator is better because then you're sharing with less people, so you end up with a bigger piece.